Mac Miller would have turned 30 years old today. And I'm going to react to a few different perspectives on his death. And by the end of this video, I'm going to share three principles that we can choose to live by as young adults, as college students, to leave a legacy and make sure that this world is better because of how we've lived. In the description of this video, there is a free how to start your next semester strong. So if you're a college student, go ahead and check out that free resource. It was March 29th, 2021. I was walking through this forest and I remember seeing the blue sky and feeling the wind on my skin. And I just had this incredible sense of finality. That the thoughts that I had had for the last 3 years were that today I was going to find out if it was true or if it was just an ordinary day. So in order for that to make sense, I have to take you back to 2018. I was in Mexico doing a missions trip with Thrive School or with Bayside, and I was there and I had this incredible sense that there were only 3 years left. Like, I got this incredible impression of 3 years, March 29th of 2018. I didn't know exactly what it meant, but in my mind, I had this sense that it meant that was the day that I was going to die, that was going to be the end of my life. I didn't know what was going to happen on that day. But what I found in that process was I went, okay, if I'm going to die on March 29th of 2021, how does that inform how I'm going to live today? What are the things I'm going to do differently? How am I going to care for those around me and do the things that do matter? Because I wasn't sure if I would end up dying on that day or not. But it had an equalizing effect in me where the days that were really hard weren't as hard with that potential in the future, and the days that were really good were still really good even with that. And so I wonder, what would your year look like in 2022 if there was this thought and you took it seriously of by the end of this year you were going to die, or by the end of this semester? I know it's super it can be super sobering to think that way. And I think it allows us to begin with the end in mind and say, what is the type of person that I want to be? And how do I live each day with intention? And I think that in that process, we'll create a different result and have a legacy that truly matters. And I also wonder, with Mac Miller passing away at 26, I also wonder what his support system was like, what the people around him, if they really knew him or if they only knew the version of him that he allowed other people to see. And I also imagine that since he became so well known so early in his life, that made such a difference. And there was this one other time where I had this person come up to me and they were like, "Oh, hey, Daniel." And it felt so bizarre when I didn't know who they were. I didn't know how they had known me. And essentially what had happened was, the first day of a class, I had chosen to stand up and create a different environment in the class that I was in by greeting people and saying hello and choosing to stand up when the instructor hadn't showed up for the first 20 minutes of class. And so it was this interesting experience where these 60 people in this class, they knew me, but I didn't know them. And Mac Miller had that same thing, but on a massive stage. It has to be so odd when so many people from so many different places of life know who you are, but yet don't know the real you. And so, and that has to take a toll on us as people and really the most important things, or the takeaways that I'm having from hearing about his life and how he was so well loved by different people, including Chance the Rapper, and how he was really well loved by other people, and yet there was something that he just didn't have that support system in place to be able to overcome what was this addiction in his life. And so the three principles I really want to leave you with are these. The first one is to begin with the end in mind, whether that's in our lives or in our faith, our foundation, our finances, our relationships, and our health, or even in our careers. That there's this idea of, if we don't know where we want to go, any road will take us there. So we have to begin with the end in mind. The second one is to be aware of our friendships and our relationships, because the people that we surround ourselves with, they're going to make a massive difference in where we're going to go in our lives, or where we're not going to go in our lives. And so being aware of who are the people that are building faith into you, who are the people that are allowing you to feel like you're making a difference and that you matter to them, and choose to be around those people and meet new people and continue to be aware, because yesterday people aren't always tomorrow people. And so that's a constant journey in life of reassessing our relationships. And the third one, and the final one, and the one that I'm working on the most currently, is to release the pressure that we put on ourselves to be somewhere by a certain date, or to have something by a certain time. I've been learning rather painfully that it's really important to let go of pressure that I can put on myself, that we can put on ourselves, whether that's in being done with school or other areas of life, whether that's in our relationships or our faith or our health or our finances, that by choosing to breathe and release ourselves from having things to be a certain way, and relaxing into where we are in life and enjoying what is, that there can be a alignment within that space, and a greater capacity to enjoy what we're in the midst of and get through the hurts that are in our lives. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a like, as well as subscribe to this channel for more content that's specifically geared towards young adults and college students, because I found that most young adults and college students don't have a plan to develop character and content that supports that. I want it to be a solution to that. So I'm Daniel Barnes. Adios.